What's up YouTube? My name is Bro, and for this video we are going to be discussing third and fourth stages for UtaPri. And I'm going to tell you, yes, I watched both of them yesterday, and they were both interesting experiences to say the least. So where do we want to begin? Okay, first off, let's begin with what are the stage shows. Okay, the stage shows are concerts in which the actors who play the characters will literally portray their characters in some way. They'll dress up as, they'll dress like the character would usually wear, they'll talk like them, they may have an item that character uses. Regé is known for having maracas, so he may bring the maracas onto the stage at some point. You know, Camo has his staff, so, or his wand, whatever you want to call it, so he'll pull that out during one of his performances sometimes. You get what I'm saying? It's interesting because each character's involved wears a ring, and the ring distinguishes who is who. So an example, yellow would be, say, Natsuki. Pink, believe it or not, is CO, is Sho. And all he wants to do is be manly, kids. No joke. Orange is Ren. Light blue is Camo. Now, when I say light blue, it's almost like an aqua. Okay, but you get where I'm going with this? There's different colors, so they are literally portraying the characters that they are in the show. They talk like them, they act like them, everything. It's literally almost like UtaPri. This is how friggin' popular UtaPri is. It's almost like the game in the anime world has literally invaded real life to a way that I don't think I've ever seen many shows do, and that's saying something. Like, legit. So they do the concert, they sing, they dance, they have the discussions. The discussions can sometimes drag, which we'll get into fourth stage specifically, because this one was a bugaboo about it. But usually the shows actually are pretty fast paced. Like, when you go through the songs, they literally will go through maybe, I don't know, it feels like 5 or 6 songs before they actually take a break. No joke. It's ridiculous. So you go, you watch the shows, you enjoy them, and literally what will happen is the crowds at the arenas, they'll have glow sticks, and the glow sticks will change different colors. Well, the crowd would literally change the color depending on the person performing. So, excuse me. Say it's Ramaru, his would be red. I think it's the same thing for Otoyan or Otoya, so that can be a little confusing. I know it's confusing for me with Regé and Cecile, because they both basically have a green color. So when you think about it, what we have here is a very interesting setup for the way they do the shows. And it's actually a lot of fun to watch them portray the characters, have their discussion. It's one of the coolest things you'll ever get to see. The shows can last about 3.5 hours, which is a good run time, providing that there's not a lot of what I like to call dead air. I'll explain that for you. If you ever watch, say, television, or if you ever listen to the radio sometimes, you'll listen to a show, and sometimes you'll hear nothing. The station's still on, the show's on, but you'll hear like dead air for like maybe 5 minutes. Basically what happened is there was either a snafu or something. When I say dead air when it comes to concert, what I mean is, yes, they're having a discussion, but sometimes the discussion is dragged to the point where you're just like, get the hell on with it. And that can be a bit of a drag if you're trying to keep the audience, especially a person at home who wasn't at the show, engaged with what they're seeing on the screen. So, knowing this, when I watched the stages, I actually enjoyed both of them as far as their songs go equally. I will say, on a personal note, that when you watch third stage, you get Crystal Time. When you watch fourth stage, you get Shall We Dance, you get I think it's Futari no Monogram, one of my songs. You also get my all-time favorite Shining Theater song, Masquerade Mirage. So song-wise, they're almost about equal, personal opinion. But third stage has one advantage. The talking segments don't really drag on or detract from the show, from the experience. Fourth stage was 3.5 hours. Do you know that, and I can tell you this because I was watching this on, I watched my version on Kodi, from about 2:30, 2.5 hours, to closer to about the 3 hour mark, so close to about half hour, maybe more. All they did was that. Now I think now in the end it did lead to, I think, the announcement about season 3 at the time when it was coming out, but it's just so mind-numbing when you're watching a segment and they're not really progressing the concert. I've been to concerts. I've been to many concerts in my life. Usually the band or the performer doesn't talk a lot, and it's usually more music based. Now, I understand UtaPri is a completely different animal. It's one of the most fascinating series I have ever had the pleasure of watching and dealing with. But the talking segments in fourth stage were skull crushing. Legitimately, skull crushing. The songs were good when you got to them, but they were... One thing I will say, and somebody noticed this, I think the song was called Wild Runner, CEO's song from season 1, or one of his, I think, season 1, how the hell was it? It was one, I think it was one of his B-sides from season 1. Or something. I know it was like an early song that he did. Well, the song is 5 minutes long, we found out, and he did about 2.5 minutes of it. So when I listened to it, I was also on Skype at the same time, so I'm watching this, and I said, is it just me, or was CEO's, or are some of these songs actually shorter than what they're supposed to be? It's almost like you're it's almost like you're listening to the version on Music 1 versus actually listening to the actual concert version. Now, you could give me the argument, and it would be valid, well, maybe they did the song in a previous stage, so they in full, and they didn't want to do it again. That's cool. Totally fine with that. If that's the reason, I'll accept it. But I still think it's a little bit of a crap move, especially, like I said, when you come towards the end of the show and that extra couple minutes. Yeah, they could have cut the time from the talk and they could have actually given him his full time. You see what I'm saying? Like, even if you enjoy UtaPri, you got places you gotta be at some point in time. You can't tell me that just listening to grown men talking for 30 minutes sometimes when you're at a concert, you can't tell me that's rewarding. Now, okay, the payoff was you found out about season 3, and they also did play one of the songs from season 3, which was Golden Star, so that pays off in the end. At the same time, though, it's like, chronologically speaking, the song hadn't been out yet because the concert took place before the season. Duh. Okay. But you played the entire song, and yet certain songs actually got cut short in the concert. So what happened? The third stage concert was actually better in a way because I got some of my favorites, like Orange Rhapsody and Crystal Time. Can't forget that song ever. I forget if it was actually it was that stage, I think. We got to hear Still, Still, Still. Now, anybody that knows me knows that I love that song, and I love that duet to death. It was one of the shuffle units. Dear God, listen to that song. I love it. I will forever love that song. Just like Crystal Time, I will forever love Crystal Time. I love Original Resonance, but I may have to hold on the fifth stage only because here's my issue with fifth stage. It's like because a lot the songs for the Shining Theater for this particular run and just the third season in general, I don't want to hear again. I just don't. Sorry. Like, third stage I got to hear Poison Kiss. Fourth stage I got to hear Masquerade Mirage. What the fuck am I gonna get to hear if I? What the hell am I gonna get to hear if I watch fifth stage? Everybody? No, thank you. I love Shimono and I love Murakumo. Them together? No, I can't. No. Players I might be able to get away with. I haven't heard. What's that one with Terashima, Manu, and Tatsun, Pirates of the Caribbean? I want to hear that one. I haven't heard that song yet. Actually, it was funny. I know a lot of the songs from UtaPri. I couldn't remember a couple of songs, like who sang what song, because I literally was drawing a blank on who did what song. You laugh at me because I had to go back and edit some of the posts because I screwed up who actually performed it. I was like, oops. This is a problem. But anyway, if I have to make a suggestion on which one to watch, third stage, just because of its pacing, it didn't really mess around as much. Fourth was a bit padded because of the fact of the length of the talking segments. And here's what's even funnier: when they did fourth stage, in some cases they did two that were extended lengths. What I mean is, they would have the actual voice actors performing their talks or whatever, and then a few minutes later they would put up a thing on the screen that would show the different characters talking, like the actual characters talking. And I'm sitting there going, well, wait a minute, what the hell did you just spend 20 minutes doing? I mean, I understand getting set up for different songs, but still. By the way, if you do watch Fourth Stage, you want to see me, literally myself, go watch. I don't care if you watch it in the actual concert or if you go watch a clip of it somewhere. Watch the Joker Trap performance. I nearly myself, because let me tell you, the contraptions they were in that were raising up and down during the, if you step forward, you're dead or you're hurt. Holy hell, you couldn't pay me enough money to stand in that thing, because they did the medley. They did at the time Masquerade Mirage, Shinobi Road, and they did Joker Trap to start Fourth Stage, which was awesome. But to get the Joker Trap, and I'm sitting there going, you couldn't pay me enough money to do that. Not today. But anyway, the long and short of it is, if you're going to watch one of them, watch Third Stage. Fourth Stage is good if you want to hear certain older songs and some of the, at the time, newer songs. But for the most part, just skip through the talk segments because they take forever. Good Lord. That's just my That's just my opinion. You all have a good one, and I will talk to you in the next video. Although I don't know what that's going to be yet. Take care, friends.